Since I started sim racing, there has been one technology that has captured my curiosity more than any other, and that is virtual reality or VR. What does the simulator feel like when you are completely immersed in the driver's view? And should I have paid more attention to this technology when I first got into sim racing? Well, in this video, I will be showing you my very first experiences with a VR headset, from unboxing and setup through to my first driving laps, and start the journey of understanding this technology for myself. Let's dive in. So let's start with the VR headset that I will be using. Now it's thanks to Pimax that I have in my possession a Pimax Crystal Light VR headset. While I had the option of the more premium Crystal Super, I felt that this would be the unit that I would have purchased personally had I started my sim journey out in VR. With a wide field of view, large optical lenses, and high-resolution displays, it is Pimax's answer to high-end PCVR for a wider audience. In the box, we had included the head unit itself, including the DisplayPort cabling, a pair of control remotes which are not needed for sim racing, and the other usual bits and bobs. The head unit itself has integrated headphones and a microphone, so this one unit really replaces the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor and gaming headset that I currently use, and at a European retail of €853, it comes in at a chunk cheaper than what I originally purchased those items for. Now, ultimately, VR specifications are not my area of expertise, so if you want to see the full list of specs for this VR headset, then make sure you click the link at the top of the video description. And a big thank you once again to Pimax for allowing me to use this beautiful VR headset. Now, let's talk about setting up this VR system. I will admit, when I first thought about VR, I could only imagine quite a complicated procedure to set everything up. And to my shock and surprise, I only found a 2-page quick start guide with the head unit itself. But it really was as simple as installing the Pimax Play software, plugging in the VR headset into power, and then into the PC through a DisplayPort and a 3.0 USB cable. Follow the startup guide, which included installing Steam VR to the PC, and just like that, we're ready to jump into the sim and experience VR for the first time. And the sim of choice for that first drive is my main sim, iRacing. Now, I will be honest and say that the in-game settings were the most time-intensive part of the setup process. But considering the Pimax Crystal Light is a well-established VR headset on the market at the moment, there were plenty of video guides to help set me up this unit in iRacing itself. But at the end of it, we were left with this view, and what a view it is. Inside the cockpit of the BMW M4 GT3 car, ready to hit the track at the Bathurst circuit. My immediate thought was how good the visual experience is in VR, and just how much detail is in these cars. Details that you would never ever see if you play on a monitor. Looking around the cabin, you can see things like the air jacks, cool box, look past the wheel to see the pedals, etc. And the Pimax Crystal Light really gives a lovely sharp image, so those little details on the dash and the track can be clearly seen when you are focusing on them. But enough looking around, let's get out on track. Righto, let's get out and experience Bathurst in VR for the very first time. Coming down Mountain Straight, gonna try to warm the tyres up. Up to the cutting for the first time, cold tyres, don't want to make a mess of this. Second gear, hug that wall. Wow, wow, that's unreal. Under the tree. Very loose on cold tyres here, so we're going to take it nice and easy. Down the grate, Missed that curb. Right, McPhillamy Park, over the rise here. And towards Skyline. Checking the view. Small amount of time. Look at that in the distance. My goodness. Down the hill. Looking for the turning point here at the dipper. Oh, there's the wall. Wow. Down to Forest Elbow. Oh, heard the car touch there. Look how close we get to that wall. And out the side. Oh, wow. That is... Wow, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there to take in. You see we've got the 4 mirrors on. And, oops, running off the track there. And even with those mirrors on, we're sort of running at the recommended 90 FPS. Everything's looking pretty good. Oh, almost lost the car. Through the chase there. Missed that curve out the other side. Oh, this is great. Looking ahead at the corners a bit more. Down to Murray's Corner. Well, we got through one lap. Let's push on and see what it feels like trying to get up to pace here. Oh no, that's not good. Sorry for hitting the mic there. First crash in VR. Goodness me. I can see the bumper hanging off in the rear mirror there. We're pretty damaged. Let's pull it into the pits. Now, of course, this was not the only crash that I had at Bathurst trying to get up to speed in this car in VR. But I quickly decided I needed to put the mic away and really start to concentrate if I was going to set any sort of half competitive lap time in this first VR session. I'm going to show you that lap here now and talk you through some of the things that I'm already learning about VR that are quite different to using a monitor. First off, we have to talk about immersion. Now, it's quite clear that you are in a much more immersive environment here in VR than when running on a monitor, even triple monitors. The way that the track and the trees run past you and all the other detail around the car that you can see truly does overwhelm the brain in some way because you're quite simply not used to it. It's like looking at this game for the first time again. All of those little bits of information that you can visually see all rush into your mind, and initially, as I said, it was very overwhelming and I was really needing to focus in if I was going to see the right parts of the track to actually set a decent lap time. It's an interesting exercise and quite clearly it's going to require a bit of training, mostly about where you look and where you focus and not being distracted by the rest of the world around you. This is obviously exactly what a real world driver would have to deal with, and it's something that I was going to need to spend a bit of time to actually learn properly. Also worth mentioning is the comfort levels of this headset, with the adjustment dial on the back and the adjustable top strap as well. This unit felt really comfortable to wear. At 815 grams, it's certainly not the heaviest piece of headwear that you can have, and I certainly didn't notice the weight during the driving. Apart from the fact that your face is obviously covered, which does make it a bit warmer around the eyes, and I'd certainly recommend some sort of fan over your face. I definitely didn't notice the headset much apart from that one detail, and in terms of motion sickness, I certainly wasn't getting any of that, as overall the car actually felt relatively natural in the way it moved and the way you were feeling the car through the force feedback, which probably suggests that things are set up pretty well in general for my first driving laps. Now, we did come out for some laps in the Mazda MX5 as well around Okayama Circuit, which is where I had my rookie races. It's a bit of a throwback for me. And this was a really interesting time in this car because the Mazda is all about the trail braking rotation, and visually seeing that in VR did feel a little bit different to what it does on the monitor, and I was struggling to kind of find exactly where the limit was, losing the car a few times, but certainly an interesting exercise. And VR, well, as you can see, makes the rejoins after moments like that a lot easier. But you can see here, after about 40 minutes of driving in a couple of cars, it's very hot work around those eyes, and the brain is certainly feeling it. But what an incredible first experience in VR. Overall, though, sim racing in VR is an absolutely phenomenal first up experience. From just how easy the VR system is to set up, to the incredible car details that you only get to see with this visual platform, to the incredible immersion that you get. It makes you feel like, for the first time, at least for me, that I'm in the driver's seat of a real race car. It really does exceed all of my expectations. And I've got to admit that there is now quite a long list of cars, tracks, and different sims, different experiences that I want to try in VR to see where this technology truly shines. So if you are interested to see some of the things that I do in VR over this year, then please consider subscribing to the channel. And again, this is all thanks to the lovely people at Pimax. Remember to check out the link at the top of the video description if you want to see their full range. And also, there is a small discount code they have given me to viewers to use. And I'll also be sure to update with any current Pimax promotions that they let me know about. If you have any questions about this first up experience, then please feel free to ask me. Again, I am not an expert in this field, but I'll certainly do my best to try and answer any questions that you have. If you want to see my first ever race in VR, well, there's also a link in the description. Got to admit that that experience is on another level. As always, a huge thank you if you have made it to the end of the video here. Race hard, stay positive. We'll see you in the next VR video soon. Cheers.